Inequality is a bit different from equation. In algebra, inequality is something that is not equal. So it is clear from the word inequality. So in inequality, we are not talking about something that is equal to something else. We are talking about something that is not equal. Now, in order to understand inequality, it's a good idea to have a comparison with an equation. So let's compare an inequality versus an equation. Now, in an equation, we know that something is always equal to something. That is called the root of the equation, meaning the unknown value of x. So when we say x equals to 2, that is the root of the equation. But in inequality, it is not equal to 2. So if something is not equal to 2, it can either be less than 2 or it can be something more than that, something more than 2. So it is written with this pointed symbol, less than and greater than. Now this less than symbol means there are many values that is less than 2. So this is not exactly one value, this is many values. And when we have greater than 2, it also has many values. So when we're talking about inequality, we're not just talking about a root. When we talk about x equals to 2, it is the root of the equation, and that is exactly 2. But when we are talking about an inequality, we are talking about x is less than 2, many values. So we talk about a collection of values or a set of values. So to solve an inequality is to find the set of values. So this is a very important concept, and the difference between inequality and equation is that in an equation we have exactly one root, but in an inequality we have set of values of x. Now when we say that we have to solve an inequality, before that we have to be familiar with the two inequality symbols. They are called the less than symbol, and remember to read it from the left, because from the right it looks a bit different. So from the left, this is called the less than symbol, and the other inequality symbol is called the greater than symbol. So the greater than symbol is like this. So the less than symbol and the greater than symbol, these are called the inequalities. Now from the right they look completely different, so always remember to read them from the left like you read any text in English. So these are the two inequality symbols. Now we might want to, let's take a look at how do you solve an inequality. So when you solve an inequality, it is similar to solving an equation. So when we solve an inequality, we are always trying to find the unknown values of x, but in this time it is going to be the set of values of x, not the root of x, which we found in case of an equation. So we want to find the set of values of x here. So x is greater than 2 is a set of values of x, x is less than 2 is a set of values of x. Now let's use one example, 2x minus 1 greater than x plus 5. Now we solve this like any equation. We bring all the x on the left hand side. This is a linear inequality. So 2x minus x greater than 5 plus 1. If you bring that x to the other side, it becomes plus 1. So 2x minus 1 is x, greater than 5 plus 1 is 6. So x is greater than 6. So this is exactly like solving an equation. All we do is do exactly as we do in a solving equation. Now let's do another example. This one is 5x plus 7 greater than 7x minus plus 2. Let's take that. So let's bring all the x on the left hand side. 5x minus 7x greater than 2 minus 7. Now here it is going to be minus 2 because 5x minus 7x is minus 2 greater than 2 minus 7 is minus 5. Now look here, equal to an inequality, these are the same thing except when we have negative number and we need to divide by negative number. In an equation, the left hand side, right hand side looks the same, but when we have a negative number here, minus 2, and when we write x, we have to now reverse the inequality. So the greater than symbol is going to reverse to the less than symbol. So whenever you have a division by a negative number, the inequality symbol is reversed. So the greater than became less than, minus 5 is minus 5 divided by minus 2. So the answer is going to be x is less than 5 by 2. So this is very, very important. Whenever we divide by a negative number, it is reversed. So this is a very, very important rule for inequality. So in an equation, the equal to sign left hand side, right hand side looks the same, but in an inequality they are different. So we need to reverse them whenever we have a negative sign, and this greater than symbol becomes the less than symbol in this particular case. Let's do another example. Now in example 3, uh, let us use twice x plus 5 less than 7x plus 20. Let's bring all the x's on one side to the left side. Twice x minus 7x less than 20 minus 5. So this is again going to be negative 5x less than 15. Now since we have negative number here, in order to divide we need to reverse the inequality from less than to greater than symbol, and it will be 15 divided by minus 5, and the answer is going to be x is greater than minus 3. So these are the set of values for solving this inequality. So it is very, very important to remember whenever we solve an inequality, everything is like the equation, but when we divide it by a negative number, the inequality symbol will get reversed. So this particular rule is very, very important for solving any inequality. Now when we talk about solving, there is one thing that we have to be familiar with is how they give the question. Now there is another question. Let me write 2x plus 5 less than x plus 3 less than 2x 12x. Let me write 12x plus 7. Now this is looks very strange. Now when you have a question given like this, it means you take the first two as one inequality and the second two as another inequality. So let me write it out like this. For 2x plus 5 less than x plus 3, so 2x minus x less than 3 minus 5. So this is going to be, therefore x is less than minus 2. So there is no negative number, so we didn't have to reverse it. So x is less than minus 2. So that is going to be the set of values of x. Now the next one, for x plus 3 less than 12x plus 7. If we bring all the x on one side, x minus 12x less than 7 minus 3, this will be minus 11, it will be minus 11x less than 4. So therefore now again we have a negative number, so that will reverse the inequality sign. It will become greater than 4 divided by minus 11. So that's the answer. Now we need to restate the answer, and it is very, very important to restate the answer. The first one is x is greater than minus 4 by 11, or x is less than minus 2. So that's what we are going to have. So let's do one more. And before I mention that, one thing needs to be clarified about the symbols available for inequality. Apart from the less than symbol, there is another symbol called the less than or equal to some symbol. There is a little dash below the less than symbol. When you give a little dash like that, a line like that, it is called the less than or equal to. Now another one is greater than or equal to. So another line below that symbol makes it like that. So when we talk about less than or greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, for example, x is less than or equal to 2, it means x is equal to 2 and it is also less than 2. When we write x is greater than or equal to 2, it means x is equal to 2 and also less than 2, greater than 2. So that's what it means. So whenever we are talking about less than or equal to sign, that means that value itself is included. Now let me write it down here. Less than or equal to, that's what it means. And greater than or equal to. So that's what it means. So these are the four inequality symbol that we need to know all together. So the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Now let's do an example where we have this greater than or equal to, less than or equal to symbol. So this is going to be 5x minus 7 greater than or equal to x plus, let me write 11. Yes, so 5x minus x, all the x is on the left hand side, 11 plus 7, the minus 7 becomes plus 7, so 5x minus x is 4x greater than or equals to 18. Therefore, now since it is positive number, the inequality sign will not be reversed, it will be the same, just like an equation. So 18 by 4, 2 9s are 18, 2 to the 4, x is greater than or equals to 9 by 2. Now x is greater than or equal to 9 by 2, that means the value is going to be equal to 9 by 2 or more than 9 by 2. But sometimes the question is, write down the smallest integer. Now to write down the smallest integer, you know what an integer is? An integer is a number like 1, 2, 3, 4 or minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. 0 is also an integer. So if you have to write down an integer value, so let's see what is x is greater than or equal to 9 by 2 means. X is greater than or equals to 4.5. 9 by 2 means 4.5. So if you think about numbers greater than 4.5, that means something greater than 4.5 is integer number is going to be 5, then it can be 6, it can be 7. Since it is greater than or equal to, it can be anything, increasing, and starting from 5 it is an integer if we are talking about an integer. So the smallest one is going to be 5. So they ask for the smallest integer, meaning the closest integer, smallest integer. So that means it's going to be 5. So answer is going to be x equals to 5. That is the smallest integer. Now write down the smallest integer, the answer is going to be x equals to 5. That's what's going to happen. Now before we end this, we have to talk about one more thing, and it is called number line. How do we enter the symbol of inequality into number line? So when we talk about number line, it is nothing but a line with a number, bunch of numbers on it. So we can have many numbers on that line, that's called the number line. So we have to express inequalities using number line. So that means we have x is less than or greater than some value, or x is less than some value a, so that is going to be a blank circle. So when we have greater than or less than, it's a blank circle, but if you have a greater than or equal to a or less than or equal to a, it is going to be a full circle filled up. So first is the greater than or less than, that is the blank circle, and the other one is greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, that is the full circle. So the blank circle, and here the full circle. So this is how we express something, the blank circle and the full circle. So whenever we are actually expressing this, we have to be very careful to write this up. So the first example is going to be x is less than 2. So 2 here, so it's less than means blank circle because there is no equal to sign here. Another example can be x is another example we can consider it to be x is greater than or equal to 5. So since it is greater than or equal to, it will be a full circle because it has an equal to sign. So these are the two ways of expressing inequalities on a number line. Now there are two more. Now when we write x is greater than or x is greater than or equal to a, so we are focusing here greater than, we are going to put an arrow towards the right. Towards the right means greater than. And whenever we have this, any type of greater than, it is arrow towards the right. But on the other hand, if it is x is less than a or less than or equal to a, then it is going to be less than, an arrow towards the left. That's how you express. So we have the blank circle, the full circle, the arrow towards the right for greater than, arrow towards the left for less than. So let me write this down, list them. It is going to be blank circle towards the right, meaning greater than, blank circle towards the left, meaning less than, full circle towards the left, meaning greater than, and full circle towards the left, meaning less than. So let's fill this up. We have two questions that we talked about. The first one is x is less than 2. So less than means the arrow is going to be on the left hand side. So the next one is x is greater than or equal to 5. It is going to be on the right hand side. So that's how this is going to work. This is inequality.